Welcome to my before and after training where I review design received from a subscriber. First, I'm going to review the design and I'm going to show you guys my process on how I achieve my version. I'm going to be sharing my tips on how I think and how I achieve successful design project with you. So let's go. So this is the design I received from a subscriber. And if you want your design to feature in any of our upcoming design review training, simply make use of the Telegram link in the description section of this video and send your design to any of the admin aside from Caesar Graphics. Okay. All right. So let's go straight to business. So yeah, I'm going to start with what is working here and I'm going to get to what is not working. Now, the first thing I think is working here is the fact that, the background is bright and it's easy for us to see the content that, we have in the project. But the idea behind working on design project is not to only make the content, the elements in the project visible. There's the part of communicating the message to the viewers in a dynamic way, which I think, is really not working here. And this really made the project look like it lacks, structure. So many things are happening here. I can see some information here that are too small to read, and some shapes with too many space around them, and some element flying around that I believe is not necessary. This elements here, I don't think they are necessary in the project. All right, yeah, like I always share this with you guys. The idea is not for you to create an impression that you did something. The idea behind every design project is to focus on the objective of the project. All right, the project needs to function to do what it needs to do. Your lack of not knowing this is what mostly make designers use elements that are not necessary in the project in order to make the page full. All right, and don't just make the page. Don't do design that your focus is to make the page full and forget the goal of the project. So I'm going to stop here on this and I'm going to go straight to my version. But before I do that, I have a very important information I would like to share with you. We get calls a lot from people who are looking forward to going into design but can't afford to pay for design school. So because of this, we decided to start a foundation where we can be a blessing to these people. In order for us to meet our goals, we need you to support us with your donation. If you have any amount you believe you can support us with, kindly make use of the information on the screen. All right, so let's go back to the tutorial. All right, so I started with Illustrator, right? Like I always say, your title need to be different from every other information in your project. So I decided to go to Illustrator to create a 3D title to really make the title loud and to connect this to what the artwork is talking about, because the idea here is to create a fun style project. So I decided to use a 3D extrude design, a 3D extrude type to communicate the message. And before going to Illustrator, I first drew the layout, how I want the project to look. And what actually inspired all the drama I'm acting here is the illustration. I'm talking of the picture of the people that I use in the project, because like I always say, the illustration is what mostly inspired the layout of the project. So that's the idea. That's what inspired the title you are looking at here. At first, when I tried creating the extrude effect, there are some details that I'm looking for that I noticed I did not get, and that is the shadow part of the extrude effect. So I later found out that I'm supposed to send the small title the information that I made small, I'm supposed to send it to back. And it was after I did that I was able to get what I was looking for. All right, so this is the illustration I'm using in my version, and the reason why is because the title of the project says the Freshers Hangout. So in order to really communicate this right, I need pictures of people connected hands to depict friendship message in the project, because if you're talking about hanging out, there's this friendship message that you need to communicate in the project to make people know that this event is going to be friendly for people that participate in the event. And that's the idea behind the use of the people. And the reason why I distorted the image is because I know I'm going to be making my title big. All right. And I really want people to see this. All right. I really want people to see how, I really want to really make this draw people attention from, from afar. And listen, guys, the fact that I did this does not mean this is how, or this is what you must come up with. All right. The way I think as a creative person is, a bit different. I'm the type of person that create project that I know when I see to surely draw my attention. And that's what I always apply to every design project, that I worked on. So I decided to, get a picture of a grass from the internet, because I noticed that, the bottom part of the frame is difficult for me to fill it with, the grass from the original image. So I decided to go get this image and do some color grade to blend this well with the image of the people. Or the other thing I did again is, I had to fade the picture of the people to the picture of the background to blend with my background, because if I don't do that, the other image I'm going to place, it's going to be difficult for that image to blend correctly in my composition. So that's the reason why I decided to fade, the background. Yeah. So there's another thing I noticed that did not really, work well here, which I later fixed. If you look at the bottom part of the extrude effect, you'll notice that it's not really getting to the end of the trees. And this is not making my message clear. So I had to do some tweaking that I had to go back to Illustrator to do some, tweaking to actually make that part, work well. So yeah, the reason why I faded the background image is because of this cloud sky image that you're looking at in my version. Because if I don't do that, there's no way this is going to blend correctly. Now, I'm sure you guys can see there's this orange color on the sky. What actually inspired that orange color is because of the sunlight effect that we have in the picture of my illustration. All right, I'm talking of the sunlight effect that we have in the scene, because there's something called unity, where putting together your design element, you need to put them together in a way that it will look like everything belongs together. Like I always say to you guys, when you are putting together your elements, know you're actually creating a scene. And for you to make your scene balance, you need to pay attention to details. I'm talking of paying attention to details to the point where you make the colors on the image uniform. You make them, connect to each other. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And you'll notice that the same sunlight effect is still what you're looking at on the title. All right. Because if I don't do this, the title is going to look different. It's going to look different. Like it's going to look like I just cut and paste this in the project. And that's the reason why I decided to do the orange, the effect from the sun on my title there. And I believe this is making sense to you. If it is, please, I will appreciate if you can drop a message in the comments box or give the video a thumbs up. So on the title, I noticed that my title is looking too dark for the background. So I decided to do some tweaking on it, which you guys are going to see later, because as it is right now, it's looking dull. The value of the color on the title is dull, and there's no dynamic effect on the title. So I did some tweaking, which you guys are going to see later. Now, the putting of the grass at the bottom, because I'm sure you guys noticed where I added the the grass at the bottom. The reason why I decided to create that space there is because I know that's where I'm going to be putting the information in the project, the other information in the project. I know that's where I'm going to be putting it. And that is what actually made me push the characters up. I'm talking of the people. That's why I decided to push them up in order to create room for the information I'm going to place at the bottom of the project. So when you're working on design project, all right, it's always best to not be too fast to send the design to the client. All right, there's this thing called taking another look at the project, which is what I did in this project here. You'll notice that what you look at in the video is a bit different from the final result that you're looking at now. So what I did was, after taking time to look at the project, I noticed that the project is still not looking up like I expected to. So I decided to change the color of the out to really make the project look more dynamic and make the color, I'm talking of the blue color that I have on the title, more pop. And there's something I did here where the connecting of the color between the background and the title balance. If you look at the color I have here on the title, you'll notice that it's similar to the color I have on the sky here. So working this way is part of what will help you create a project that look interesting to the eye and also that look professional. All right, so I'm going to quickly share the principles of design that I use in this project. So the first principle of design that I'm going to share here is the focal point. All right, so the focal point in this project here is this. And why is this the focal point? Is because this is what actually explains what the project is about. And it's the boldest, the loudest elements in the project. So the next principle of design in the project, which I'm going to share with you guys, is contrast. All right. Now, the reason why we can easily see this title clearly on this background here is because of the value of the color that we have on the background. All right. You'll notice that the title is darker than what we have on the background here, talking of the color. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because most time when designers are working on design project, they always go, there's something that is not working here. So the use of value is one of the things you need to check when putting together your element. All right. And the other part of contrast in the project here is there's this light effect that you're looking at around or should I say rim lights. All right, there's this rim light that is on the characters here. So the rim light there is not to just make the project look beautiful, but to separate the elements from the background or from what we have on the middle ground. All right, so that's the idea behind all this light effect you're looking at on the body of the characters. Now, I did not do this effect. They came with the image. All right, so but I need to let you guys see it so yes, it's also part of what helped the project. Then the other contrast in the project here is the value of the color that we have still on the background here. We really made this information here pop. And the other part of contrast here is the part of the color, because if you look at this side of the project, you notice the only information that carry that the color is different, that we didn't repeat. I didn't repeat the color in the project here, is this pink color that I have here on the currency. And what inspired this color is the color from this lady's outfit. So I used the lighter value of the color we have on this lady's outfit to get this color here. All right. I hope somebody get that. All right. So it's the lighter value of what this lady is putting on that inspired this color that I have here. So let's go straight to proximity. All right. So I'm not going to share the proximity. I'll need you guys to share that yourself. Just put it in the comment section of this video. So I'll go straight to repetition. Repetition is also part of the principles of design. So here I have repetition of colors. So the first color I'm going to talk about is the blue. So the blue color we have here is still the blue color we have on the sky here. It's still the same color we have here. All right. Now let's talk about yellow. All right. So the yellow we have here is still the same yellow we have here. And it's still the same color we have on the information that I have in the project here. And then we also have white on the text here, which is another color repetition in the project. All right. So another repetition in the project here. All right. Yes. So there's another thing that I also need to say about contrast here. If you look at the project here, you notice we don't really have shape in the project. The only shape we have here is this. All right. So this is another, contrast in the project. So the idea behind this is to also help, the viewers see this as one very important information. All right. So if you want to make small size information look important to the viewers, putting shape behind or around it is one of the ways you can achieve that in graphic design. All right, so I'm going to stop here. I'm sure you learned so much from this tutorial. Now let's play a game. I need you to share the level of hierarchy in the project. If you know the answer to this question, kindly drop it in the comment section of this video. Now, if you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. And if you know anyone that you believe need to watch this tutorial, kindly share the link with them. If you love the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.